Yeah, it was the performance that really pleased me, if I'm honest. The first 25 minutes, when we were able to move the ball, stress them, fatigue them, and keep the ball, that was really pleasing. You know, we found a bit of what I would class as our DNA, a style of play. I thought people in the middle and our wingers worked extremely well. Just moving the ball, moving the point of contact, and it took a toll then, and we should have been more accurate at the end of the game, but you take a win, don't you? We're a healthy group over here. Obviously Jordan Williams has travelled. He won't be up for selection this week, but he'll be back in the mix for selection next week, so he needs to be around the rugby and get our extra conditioning that South Africa's temperatures can give him. But he'll be a great asset to us when he's back. Keddy's back in the mix this week, which is superb because he's a leader in this group. So yeah, it's nice. A shame to pick up the odd injury here and there, and you know, we're training at intensity. We have to train it to improve, to make players better, to make the group better, and unfortunately that does come with a risk. But we've got to make sure we're in an attitude of next man up, and that's the mindset we're going with. Yeah, it's a severe hamstring tear, so he'll have some time out now. I think he's meeting a specialist in London this week just to see the exact what we need to do, basically. It's difficult, isn't it? When they come to Europe, they've come without the internationals, and they're trying, the Sharks specifically this week, trying to find a style of play that's different. You know, when I was a kid watching the Sharks, they were expansive, they threw the ball around, and then over time they become a very dominant set-piece team, and it looks like, to me, like how they've recruited their style of play. They want to go back to that expansive style of rugby. That takes time. You know, you've got to change the DNA of a club, and that's the task that Plumtree's got. They probably catch the ball away from scoring multiple tries against the Ospreys in London, and they didn't come off. They'll catch the ball away against the Ospreys, and we need to make sure they're catching the ball away against us, don't we, this weekend. So, and pressure builds. We've just experienced it now, how pressure of results can build, and I'm sure they're feeling it and they'll want to change it. The togetherness of the group that we found in last year's group out here, they stuck together, they socialised together, they reviewed, previewed together, and then the performances on the field, you know, a dry track suited us. So it was dry in Joburg twice, it was dry in Port Elizabeth, allowed us to throw the ball around and get our athletes on ball, and we need to do that. You saw the difference Rio Dyer this week to last week was just the amount of touches he had. Or Kai Evans touched the ball a lot more, and we need to do that out here this week. We've got to have ambition to win. We know we've got to score tries out here to win these games, so first and foremost we need to make sure our attack's on point. Our defence will be critical to get us some turnovers as well, especially this week. We know they'll throw the ball around, so we've got to be all action. We've got to be concentrating for 80 minutes so we don't let anything weak in. I love it, I do. I think how good for our, you know, we're still a young team. You look at Will Reid, Nyan Owen, Ewan Ross making his debut last week, Rio Dyer. We're a young team, so the opportunity for our boys to play against them is superb, isn't it? I expect them to be back. I'd expect the majority of them to be starting, because when you're desperate for a win, you need your best players to play, and they are their best players, so we're preparing for them to be on the field. Lukamia, arm centre, best centre in the world, isn't he, in his prime? Mapimpi on the wing, best winger in the world when he's playing well. Estevez, second row, best second row in the world. So how good is it an opportunity for our boys to have a go at them? And I'm sure we'll do well, and that'll give us the belief then that we're pretty good. It brings a nervous excitement, so the fear of what we're going against, but then excitement to show what we can do. So it brings that, and you can sense that in the group generally when we met Monday and trained, and we know we're in for a tough task, but one we're really looking forward to.